Так. Okay, so today we draw some environments. Here with, let me show you some. I prepare some reference. We'll see if we can do all of them. Today we draw some environments. Here we have like a downhill. It's like San Francisco maybe. And some other views. And I think it's just good to show how to draw such view, how to break it down. So before I start draw it on the paper, I can break it down in the digital to show you structure. So kind of like my analysis process I have in my head, in my mind, when I look such pictures. So think like, oh, how to draw this. And another example, how having like clear understanding of principles and knowing structure, it's make everything easier. So here we have horizon line. Horizon line. Change size. And then we have like about 3 levels, 3 different surfaces. Like one surface, it's parallel to horizon, parallel to ground. It's like we can see these buildings, for example. So here let's make the vanishing point. So, and you can see how all of this, like windows, and if we have here is like buildings standing on the street, so they parallel to each other, and they parallel to ground. So here what we have, it's like if top view, right, buildings standing like this. And actually, even if they will be like this, it still will be same vanishing point on the horizon line. Why? Because this and this parallel lines. So no matter like how they place on which distance, they go into same z vanishing point because they're parallel. So when we see, okay, this one seems same case, yeah. And this one little other angle, and here is this kind of case when you can make decision. You can ignore reference and simplify it to one vanishing point, so just like make every building follow this vanishing point. Or you can say like, okay, this group of buildings, they are not parallel with this one. They more like, let's see, they will have it's like vanishing point here. It's like z slash. So what does mean? It means it's a little rotated to the left. So if previous lines they go in this direction, here this other group of buildings, their lines like have a little rotated, so they will have like different vanishing points. But these different vanishing points still on the horizon line, because while building rotated, they're still parallel to ground. So all of this building, if we look from side view, they're all kind of parallel to ground, right? So we have like building here, building there, and they're kind of parallel to ground. And then we have next thing to notice. It's about tilted surface, different kind of surface. So let's again horizon line. So, and let's say again I will bring this vanishing point. There's here. Here. There's the vanishing point. So when we have ground like horizontal, like this one, like a plane parallel to ground, it will have vanishing point on the horizon line. And in our case, it's convenient, it's this is the vanishing point. So we can see, you see this like train rails, right? They're going to this the vanishing point. And then we see on the far away also this crossroad, and also train rails going to this the vanishing point. But then we have this part, right? So why, how to show it's kind of tilted downwards, it's downhill. It's you from this z vanishing point, you make a vanishing trace. So and here this vanishing trace for this surface would be here. So it's like, again let's do like z slash. So now you see how this surface following this vanishing point and tram, this box of tram following this vanishing point, and this car, because this car is standing on this surface, right? So if I turn it, simplify it to box, it will follow this vanishing point. And here it's figure, other car. So, and same we can look like here, seems like part of road like following this vanishing point. So it's actually kind of overlapped. So if road going here like this, and then going down, like disappears and again reappears here. And what's the other color? Okay, red, orange. That's the orange. So and then we have this piece of road. So on the same manner we can find where is a vanishing trace for this tilted surface, because it's clearly not parallel to ground. So I need to find where is it. So it's about here. So it's like Z double slash. Maybe it's too far. Let's back a little. If we have road here, then it's like a little on the left from this axis. Okay, about here. So I can do for convenience, or at least I will always have it in mind. You can make this also trace to horizon line, so you know exactly how this vanishing point related with this Z and with this one. Kind of you can trace exact placement this way. So, and what we have, let's conclude. We have, if we look from a side view again, side view. So we have three type of surface. Let's say it's like buildings here parallel to ground, Z vanishing point. Then we have road, say here, also going to Z vanishing point parallel to ground. Then we have this orange going to the double slash, and we have it's like this slash. So like this slash have like lower, and the double slash is like in the middle. So if let's make another kind of projection. Yeah, let's make here. So here we have this parallel to ground, right? So it's like horizon line. Then this slash in this direction. And if we make a point here about in the middle, move it a little on the left, will be Z2. So it's like three angle. And then like we're talking, if we talk about like perspective grid, notice what happening here. While we have this like three different Z vanishing point, we need to also consider what happened with other y and x. So x here, it's kind of same for every angle. It's always parallel to horizon line. So this is easy. It's x for all three angles. Y, like let's say y is just vertical here, but when we have like this z slash, then y slash, you see it's tilted like this. So if maybe take other color. Y slash, right? So if you want to see or make grid for this tilted surface, y will be tilted. Because here is this like box logic. When we have surface like this, so it will be z, so y is perpendicular, it's 90 degree. Y. So if we have z have angle, so then y also will be like tilted, because it still should be perpendicular to the plane, this surface. But like I say, x remain same for every angle. So and if we talk about x or z 2 slash, yeah, so then also like it's little tilted y-axis, but not so much, because like it's just like not very visible here. And here is a good example talking about perspective grids. Like I say, for perspective grid is more convenient to have just one set of xyz. So let's say, let's make this one set. So it's just like vertical y, then we have here z, why you disappear? Так. And x Alright, so it's like will be like a perspective grid here, and then when I want to make like extra angles, I will just make like addition to this grid. I will just say like, okay, I need this z slash vanishing point here, and then I say like, I need like this z double slash vanishing point here. So I make addition to this perspective grid. It's more convenient this way. And same when I have like perspective grid for this tilted surface, for this downhill, I also say like, okay, now I have this z, right? And it's like I build in box according to this surface, following this z-axis, and I also will like adjust y-axis of this box according to this tilted surface. So I know, because this box attached to tilted surface, so this box y-axis will be not parallel to perspective grid. So it's important to understand how it works. And in the process you don't need to draw too many lines. It's like feels like much more convenient to work in this sequence. So you use main perspective grid over main space, and then you just make some additions with this like details. Так. Okay. And now let's draw. It is a little too big. Cool. Hello, Kova. Thank you. Так. Let's just adjust here. So, like we say, I recommend to do this kind of practice when you find like interesting reference photo or artist work, and you break it down. You need to analyze like structure behind it, and it's not some kind of hack or shortcut. No, it's like very practical way to study perspective. It's not like you just study some kind of general principles and then you need to figure out how to actually apply these principles in the actual work, right? Instead you go directly to final result. So you already can see how perspective rules, how these perspective principles applied to this particular work. So, and when you break it down, you see it's like exact path, exact like result and techniques you need to be able to make this kind of picture. And also kind of this way your brain like more much better memorize this kind of information, because it's not too abstract, it's very practical. You can see kind of it works. So let's see, this will be this look, then here, so C2. So then I make like composition sketch. placing objects around. And it's very important to have some kind of like structuralizing principle behind any work, so you will not too much kind of focus on details and visual. You should more focus on idea and construction. So with this kind of approach, you can make more clever simplifications, and it's actually only this approach enable you to be creative, not just kind of copy some reference, but or cliche, but actually understand like how images and stories is working. Here I have a bunch of roofs. So far here. Oh, here's water already. So weird. Let's do water here. So it's very easy to draw all these buildings and stuff because I know direction of lines. So I know where is a parallel to horizon line or is going to which vanishing point. So going to Z. So it's here chimney. Also for building y-axis is just vertical. So also, like I say, remember you don't need to find like every vanishing point from reference. Usually it's even better if you will reduce amount of vanishing points. So just like simplify it to make it, for example, just one vanishing point perspective with these vanishing traces. Here's Dude Walking. Hello, Bully. Так. Weird here. Oh, thank you, Bully. Yeah, I hope just help with specifics, so you can look exact problems, kind of what you want to solve. Here, kind of weird proportions. So it's important, kind of what I also remind all the time. What is the most practical approach for study perspective? First, you watch some essential video, essential tutorial, like you go to watch my videos from folder Perspective Basics, like from playlist Perspective Basics, right? Or you watch like Marshall Van Droof workshop about perspective. So there is this basic principles explained, right? All terminology, all essential stuff, and then you go and choose how you want to practice it. And I have like all these different video of different subjects, how to practice, how to apply these basic principles. Because like every task, when you want to draw something in perspective, it's always same basics. It's like all the time you need to apply same basic principles. There is just like very, very minor nuances to it, but all principles is the same. So actual actual problem you need to deal with is to gain mileage with the essential principles. So you need to have more and more experience of application kind of these essential principles. It's some kind of like I even don't know how to compare. It's like you need to use it, so you will become like better and faster, and then you start to be more clever. If you not practice, you will be always slow and not efficient, kind of. So you need to make a lot of practical application of these perspective principles. Really a lot, like hundreds of pictures. It's not enough just like draw a couple boxes. So more you draw different cases. It's not like you learn some kind of like tricks and secrets. No, you just became better with essentials. And this kind of funny trick here. So every time what you will notice, like what actually make you better in perspective, is just to have more experience with using perspective essential principles. Just this like XYZ, boxes, ellipses, just it. Yeah, it's like, let's say, it's like logical thinking, for example, right? You can apply it in so many different scenario, in so many different cases, but in general, it's just like universal, this kind of universal thinking process itself is the most essential, and while you find like different way to practice it, different cases when you need to figure out how to figure out find solution to particular problem, you actually just became smarter. You train yourself to kind of be more clever kind of, I don't know, you just train yourself to use your brain in general. So it's kind of very interesting, because like what I will say, what is a thinking process, it's always about finding patterns. So you need to analyze situation, you need to find patterns, you need to see structure, and then you like understand behavior of this system, of this situation, and then you can predict, you can make predictions, you can make comparison, you can compare it to your previous experience. So very basic principles, very universal to every kind of problem solving. It's just your analysis, like deconstruction, reconstruction, comparing stuff. So can say like when you analyze situation, when you analyze your case, when you break it down into elements, only then you actually see what you're dealing with. Without analysis, you're blind, you don't see what's happening. So same with drawing, you cannot draw if you don't see structure. And all this talking about like artist vision, it's exactly what does it mean. It means to have, first of all, have idea of structure. So you need to have some like construction points kind of, right? And then looking for the structure. And then when you more practice it, it just became natural, you became like automatic with this stuff. You start to see this perspective grids everywhere around you. And more than that, you able to, like I can do right now, I can turn any perspective in any other perspective. So if I see like 1 point perspective, I can draw this view into fish eye, into 5 point, 6 point perspective. You have like you have really like creative freedom only when you know how to work with the structures. And this kind of a secret. Like when we were children, we like very creative and fun, we draw and all this stuff, which is impressive within your family kind of environment, let's say. It's not professional level. Then when you grow up and you realize like nobody care about your childish creativity, everybody will expect professional quality from you, right? So to get this professional quality, you need to adapt your like inner children, your childish creativity. You need to connect with the adult constructive reasoning, kind of, when you think logically. So it's like you're like childish playfulness plus adult serious approach, kind of. When you connect them together, then you became like professional artist, professional creator. Hello, Matthew. Так. So let's see. Here, let's break down. Here will be road. This. So, and also, like I say, this kind of practice is super helpful to really improve in perspective. It's it's both fun, actually. It's really in pleasing kind of experience, as like you're playing some kind of puzzle game, and it's kind of aligned with my idea of separating practice with creative process. So when you able to draw from reference like this without having like intention to make kind of like art, it's not art, it's just a study, right? It's my process of learning perspective. And but you physically just draw this kind of view, so for your brain it's kind of actual experience. It's you actually did it, right? So now your brain believe you can draw this kind of picture, and maybe you will not so confident with this kind of view from the first time, but after you draw it like 5 times, you will really confident with this kind of stuff. So then when you will draw your artwork, like frame for comic book, for example, you say like, oh, I want to draw like ocean view or whatever with this kind of like a San Francisco environment, and you can really enjoy process and relax and feel like you know what you're doing after you have these studies behind, So it's like it's like to language. When you have a good vocabulary and you know grammar, and then you sit to write essay or article or whatever you want to write, post something, right? So imagine like one process is like when you write in this essay and you realize and you know not enough, you still need to learn more words, you don't know language, so you writing and learning language at the same time. It will make it so hard and maybe even impossible to finish it. It will be like super like uncomfortable process. Or when you just sit and write what you want to say, and your level is good enough, so it's not a kind of like a blocking process. Even if you see maybe some kind of problems, minor problems, no big deal. You can like review later and fix some minor mistakes, right? But you don't need to go and search like every third word to make sure how you write it, or you use right term, this kind of same in art. Like if you practice perspective in different kind of cases, then you just more equipped kind of for creative process, to be like in a zone, when you don't think about how to draw it, and you just think about what you draw, what do you want to draw. And here's like tram moving here and just fly in the water. Whoa. pens. So, and when we draw, we might not realize it, but this is reason of your pain and frustration. It's not because like you're not talented or you whatever. It's just because you take a kind of case which is too new for you, and you don't have enough experience with this kind of cases, right? So, and then if you also above it you have lack of experience and understanding essentials, it's kind of stacking all this, like lack of experience, lack of a clear understanding of perspective principles. They just like blocking your creative flow. So just make many repetition of essential drawings. Like airplane here. So let's watch this one too. So it's kind of similar. Here we have so here we can see for major grid, perspective grid, we'll take this Y axis, just vertical lines. Then we have horizon line. We'll make it about here. Let's do here. Okay, horizon line. And let's do vanishing point here. So busy vanishing point. And the axis here, I look like for this stairs on the first plane, You see it's like tilted like this, have convergence. So it's like horizon line here like this, and X have convergence like this. Так. So we have horizon line, this X, and I find transition kind of like this, and go and draw above. So kind of this. So you see, with this practice, you will be more quick to decide which perspective grid is more fit for this kind of reference. Because otherwise, without experience, you will be lost. It's like, oh, so many lines, so many like diagonals. Which one I should choose for grid? Так, so now let's draw some general. Here we have this building. So we have like a first plan, middle plan, and if talking about building, we have like this one building here, then this one. It's like 1, 2, 3, right? Like close here, in the middle, and far away, these buildings. But then this one, it's even closer here, with this platform, and here kind of stairs. So for these stairs on the first plan, I do vanishing trace. So I see like, okay, maybe it's here, this Z slash. Or even lower here. Later we'll see this or this. Then here on road kind of have its own shape, but here we have stairs, and here what happened? It's like downhill, a little downhill. Anyway, let's see. So have this surface which is parallel to ground, so whatever angles I have here, they all will have vanishing point on a horizon line. Like vehicles, people, whatever, they're standing on a ground plane. Then here we have lower level. Here I can double check, let's see how. So this one, like this windows, right? Can you see it? They go and definitely will have vanishing point on the horizon line of this direction. So now I can check like roof on the cars, like they parallel to windows to this direction or not. And yeah, like here we can say definitely road going down, it's not parallel. So you see windows line going like this, and the road line going like that. So road is downhill here, so again like this going to horizon line, you see this line, and road going to different vanishing point. So it's up to me, like I can exaggerate, I can make this angle stronger. Important is just to make it clear. I need to make sure it's clear in my drawing. So let's see. So if these buildings finish here, like this, then we have these buildings here. They also have like, it's kind of need to explain, a little complicated here. So I have a Z vanishing point, so these buildings on the front, they go into this Z vanishing point, right? But here, this group of buildings, they have one more vanishing point. So it's like, let's say, it's like street a little turning to left. Right, so we have like one surface here, other surface going here. So this building going to this vanishing point, this going to this, and then you can just, you know, draw in between, kind of create this movement, turning movement of buildings. And also, like what I was just showing, also we have road here which is going down. So let's say kind of like this. So no, and I think it's about from here. So road going down like this. So what we have, we extend this building, and then here road turns. Something like this. And then you see kind of what happening here. I hope it's clear. So again, you see, it's like, it's very basic principle, which is like very quickly you understand, but then when you start to applying it, it can be very confusing. So here you see what happening, right? Like we turning buildings to left from this point to this point. Same we do with road, while road, like it start here, kind of, let's say it's going to this vanishing point, it's parallel to ground, and it's going to this vanishing point. Then it start to kind of turning, going somewhere here, and then it's going to this angle and also down. So it's going here, and then you kind of turn it and maybe it's again parallel to ground, so it will have vanishing point here behind buildings. So you should be natural with this. I call it essentials. This is perspective basics when you just very kind of fluent with this kind of process. Without this, you just kind of like not literate enough. You need this kind of level. Так. Second, let me go to 10-second break.
Let's love together! Push a like, subscribe, Gamepod Art. Gamepod Art. Gamepod Art. Let's draw together. Push like, subscribe, Gamepod Art, Gamepod Art, Gamepod Art. Gamepod Art.
So here let's put some meat on these bones. Так, here we have bone. Also, when you do this kind of studies, this kind of practice from reference, don't push yourself to be like 100% accurate. It's like I always like give myself freedom to mess up with the proportions, even like when I don't have place for some elements from reference. Because for me it's not important to copy it, it's important to break it down, to understand how it works and how can I draw this kind of view. And then if I really want to copy, I can do it couple times. Like I can spend like make a couple drawings to make sure I understand perspective, to like follow all these vanishing points and stuff. And then I can make like final drawing when I will like combine everything together, proportions and perspective, and make sure I include everything from reference if it's important for me. And this same way how you work with your original art, same, because it's a very kind of sophisticated work to combine together composition and perspective. So it's a normal thing when it take couple attempts to just figure out and adjust perspective with the composition. And in many cases for me, when I drew some original art, it was like, it seems like impossible to combine. It's look like you just cannot put it in this kind of perspective. So you spend some time to understand how you can, like what kind of vanishing points to use and stuff like that. What is important, like I say, is clarity in the process and clarity in vision. Just like make sure you know what you're doing, and make sure you know, like you control your process. It's not just like random, like no, you know exactly like what stage you right now. Like, what is it, like what kind of is your minor goal? What is your current small task in this process? Let's set to simplify here. Yeah, music kind of really good stimulator for work. Like for me, when I draw outdoors, like 5 hours sometimes, it was so tired and uncomfortable, you know, like all my back pain like hell and stuff. And then you just listen music and you can draw forever. So, let's see here. Like some Manovar So here, like, also like a, again, it's like a reminder, and it's always about repetition, mother of skills, right? So we have this vanishing point, we have perspective grid, but here this side of building, it's have different its own angle. And what to do? I make its own perspective grid. So here is a horizon line, and here I find like which angle I want for building. Let's say this one for this wall, right? So now I have this angle and horizon line, and now I just draw in between. Same, then I just drop it down, and this kind of perspective grid just for this side of building. And this side going to the vanishing point. This is our X. Something will be car like this. Some figures up here. Here also a railing on this side. Like this. Oh, here is like phone booth. Yeah, maybe I put it here. Так. So here, road go like this. Got to make it go down here. Let's put finger here. Make a little more interesting. Yeah, so in these moments when I just drew in lines, snapping to perspective grid, I can draw without talking, or I can talk in random stuff about the universe and stories from real life. Funny stories. So also I like this kind of things, you know, like fractal shapes. So it's interesting about zone, about this like flow state when you draw in a flow. Sometimes it's like like what I have with the portraits, for example. And before I was like very like aware and focus on a drawing, like how to measure proportions of people's face and stuff, how to draw them look similar. Then recently when I was drawing on some events, just kind of charity events, I've been drawing portraits, I realized I don't need to think about process at all. It's like totally not thinking about how I draw in. So it's like I just have intention and I concentrate on intention to draw like kind of like similar like representation of a model character, kind of, right? But how I draw it, I have no idea. It's just like hands drawing themselves. I can only afterwards kind of look at this and say like, okay, I was kind of like making shading, proportions and stuff. Because this kind of like live drawing portraits, it's very, for me at least, it's kind of extreme. You have like very limited time, and there is a bunch of people standing in a line waiting for a next portrait. So it's kind of a lot of pressure, and I was so nervous, so I even like cannot focus on what am I doing, like verbally I cannot focus on the process, so I just like subconsciously just sit and drawing, and it's like I don't know what the hell am I doing, and somehow I have like very good portraits actually. So then I figure out it's kind of this flow state when I just kind of let my hands to do their work, kind of just draw whatever this came out. It's very interesting. But this kind of mode, like this kind of mode of drawing, is not inherent. It's not like, oh, finally I've discovered it in myself. No, you not discover it. You developing it. This a result of your practice. So after like you did it like 100 times, and I have like I don't know, maybe 1,000 portraits I drew already. Like if talking in my life, kind of, right? Like been drawing like so many portraits, and I'm not like a portrait artist. It's just like was different occasions, like when I study in art college, when I just going somewhere and it's fun to draw people, you know, or I did like also like homework, drawing portraits, and I was also working in a park, drawing people portraits, making my kind of student money. To buy some oil paints. take let's just put some people here. So also you will be surprised how much this kind of practice is universal. It just enhance your perspective, grammar kind of, right? So became just more literate on a practical level, not some kind of theory, not some kind of general knowledge. No, this is your actual practical knowledge. And this stuff, like if you draw like a big murals on a wall or big paintings, you will be better after this kind of practice, because it's actually like almost same process. Like difference, it's very minor. Like I've been drawing many here on like A3 size paper, different landscapes, and then when I start doing like mural jobs, when draw like 3 on 5 meter, 3 meter and 5 meter mural size, it took about like 1 hour to adjust. So in 1 hour, is for me, it start to feels like if I'm drawing on a paper with A3 size. It's just when I draw on this kind of paper, I just move my hand, right? So I can like draw over all this size. But when you have like a wall of 3 meter on 5 meter, you need to walk around. But in your brain, it feels exactly the same. You just make marks walking around, make line here, lines there. And if you have this experience of drawing structure, landscape and stuff, it's very easy transferred to any other kind of form in whatever you do, like oil painting, mural, like huge scale. So it's amazing thing. So this year I will have again some mural project. I will do some video of process. So here we have this thing. And it's actually like much more fun to draw big size, because on this big scale environments really have very strong impact. It's like, you know, it's like ascending overviewer. You approach this kind of big landscape and it's like, oh, I can feel it. You can also try draw at home, like if you have some wall in your house you can draw on. It's really cool. You like I draw on my old house. I draw a window to Paris. So it's like it was like big empty wall, and I said like, oh, I want actually this wall to have window, and I draw window. I draw a view, I draw view from Montmartre, not Montmartre, Notre Dame de Paris. So I was like 2013. I've been in Paris, and I go upstairs on a roof of Notre Dame de Paris, and there, you know, this kind of very cool panorama. You can see a river, you can see Eiffel Tower. So I draw this view, like if it's kind of, it's insane. It's amazing how drawing on the wall, like drawing of this view, for my brain it actually feels like actual view. So when you're walking around, like your periphery vision reads this view like an actual environment. So now, instead of having this like empty boring wall, I have a feeling like there is a Paris behind this wall, like I can see this Paris, you know. So it's really cool stuff. That's why also, like, if you've been in a museum, when I was first time in museum and like 19th century art, and there's this like hyper realistic portraits, you know, like it was blow my mind. I never seen like original before. I only seen like reproductions, like black and white reproductions in different books. And then I see this like original portraits, this hyper realistic. It feels like real people look at me, you know. So I can imagine like how, like, when it's your friend or somebody important to you, like there is some kind of rich dude order artist in the 19th century order portrait of his mistress, for example, and put it on a wall. It feels like it's an actual person here looking at you, like actual person right now with you in this room. It's crazy, like really, like so much impact. So like when we watch movie where there's like mention of some kind of like a mention of a rich guy, like from old clan of rich guys, and they have like a wall of ancestors, right? Like there's like oil paintings of like grandfather, grandfather, or great-great-great-father, and whatever. It's actually it's like you really have all your how's called this word, pedigree kind of, right? Like here you go and you see your family like present, you can feel them. That's very cool, very powerful stuff. talking about art, right, and portraits. So portraits is not just like picture of people. It's actually like connection to people. Like it's really connecting you to other people. And if you want to like remember like you're part of this like long bloodline kind of, right? You need to have this wall of portraits, so you will feel like really feel like this deep connection and presence of all these people. I understand it in art college when I was like practice drawing portraits on oil painting, and I did. No, it was already after museum. Yeah, so I come back from museum, and I think like, wow, that's cool. And I was in art college still, so I paint portrait of Avril Lavigne. And like put it on the wall, and I said like, nice, now I have Avril Lavigne in my house. It's kind of weird, but like, you know, I'm not like a fanboy or like how it's called, like fanatic kind of stuff, right? It's just like was interesting social experiment for myself. So it's like really like now I have like kind of presence here. Like currently, like right now, I have printed portraits of Miyazaki and Möbius. So they're like near my work table. Here, like Miyazaki looking like, say like, hey, are you working? Are you lazy? And the Möbius kind of like, ha 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 ha. Probably he is high on something. We know this from his biography. Joking. To have some kind of like professional atmosphere, you know, like presence of masters. It's definitely kind of change vibe in the space. Skater chick, yeah. The skater boy. Dun, 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 dun. No, I was if talking like of Avril Lavigne, for me it was like it's some kind of vibes. What I like in it is some kind of this bright vibes, teenage kind of. It's kind of interesting. It's like it's more about energy, atmosphere, what this kind of music creates. So, if like say Rammstein, for example, Rammstein is they like most kind of representative of Rammstein, I think, is Zanne, this music video about white beauty, like how they are working in a coal mine, right? This is a vibe of Rammstein. It's like brutal, dark, like hard working or like enduring a life struggle kind of. And then Avril Lavigne vibes, like I'm talking about old one, long time don't listen, so I'm not sure what there is happening right now. But talking about first album with this kind of Skitter Boy stuff. Yeah, this is kind of this childish or teenager atmosphere about like let's go to park, let's go to walk, kind of this. Because it's really interesting, something about again like our reality, right? Like what is reality for you, right? We can notice kind of it's always soundtrack in the background, and this soundtrack can be like Rammstein, like when you know like now you're like 35-year-old and like you need to wake up, go to work, and this like Rammstein in your head, like no, again go to work, but you're like no, I can do it, I'm not a children anymore. It's like oh, go to work. Or then it's like your urban sketcher who go to draw some picture and you think like you are a Viking on a conquest and you are in your head is a man of war. There's I don't know which song, like Hail to England, whatever. And I mean not literary, right, but it's like this music, it's like materialization, verbalization of this soundtrack you have. So it's like if you want to make like have like most purify essence of your own life soundtrack, you push play on this music and say like yeah, this kind of what is a reality right now for me. It's like Rammstein, or like oh, it's like a Manavar or whatever kind of, you know. They're more like making more clear your own vibes, your own perception of reality. So wait a second, I try to read name. Eagle. Yeah, Eagle. Yeah, if you want to learn perspective, you need to clarify also, like, perspective for what? What is your final product? What do you want to do? You want to make illustrations, or you want to make like drawings from observation, like real life drawings? What kind of art you want to do? So you study perspective, not just to be better with perspective. You need to first, you need to choose what kind of artist you want to be, what kind of profession, like what kind of artwork you want to create. So then you can have like clearer idea of what kind of specific and perspective you need to learn. Because like if you ask like what best to practice, depend on what is your goal. Because if you draw illustrations, like I say, best practice is to break down your favorite artist to see what kind of perspective in their work, and then also do some studies of photo reference, because if you're illustrator in your work, you will use photo reference for sure, 100%. Like you might draw from imagination, but still you will need couple photographs just for some reference, you know. So you need to have this kind of practice and experience of extracting perspective or environments from photograph. And it doesn't mean you don't need to draw from real life, but it will be more just like to make you better artist. It will be good for you to draw also from real life also, but it's not your main focus. Your main focus in case of illustration is actually like to study other artists. I think it's like a best for beginning, best like for fast improvement is to study other artists. Like watch my videos, like I have this playlist called Masters, and there I show you example how you can study from your favorite artist. You just take their artwork and look what kind of perspectives they use in their artwork, and you redraw it, you recreate it. So just clarify for me what kind of art you do, so it will be more, it will be possible to give you answer for like what's better for you to learn. Так, here's some weird stuff. Anyway. Because like in my case, I was studied to draw outdoors, like from real life observation, and I did it like many years, like 10 years, you know. And then I realized it's very different from how artists draw when they draw for like drawing illustrations and comic books. You cannot say which one is better, or it's just different. And for me, like my favorite artists, they can do both. They can do both. They can do very good drawings from real life and also from photo reference or imagination. But for beginning, you better start from your direction. Like what is your main focus? Don't go broad. Go focus first is better, and then you go like more expand your kind of range, right? So like you study perspective, how to study perspective. Watch my video, how to learn perspective. At first advice, right? Watch my video, how to learn perspective. Second, I just tell you what I tell in this video. I tell in the video is like it's you, right? You say like, oh, I want to draw perspective, but perspective is not a goal, it's a tool. So you need to say where is your goal, like what kind of art you want to do. Comic book, illustration, oil painting, watercolor painting, outdoor painting, murals, whatever. You say what kind of work you want to do, and then you can study this part, like particularly important for this your goal, important practice of perspective, which will make you immediately able to draw work you want to make. And then when you already can do it, you work on making it better quality. So instead of going and study different stuff around, like I study this, I study that, so one day I will be ready so I can start doing what I want to do. No, you will never ready, because you will study forever. To not lost in a study, in this kind of procrastination, when you like make illusion for yourself you actually doing something useful. You focus immediately, start doing right now what you want to do, and learn how to do it better quality. Because for make like comic books in a professional level with high quality comic books, you need to improve your perspective. But then you will study perspective with specific make better comic books is really important, kind of. You see, it's like a ground. You need to connection to real world, and this like your goal is your connection, to make sure you're not stuck too much into learning everything around. Yeah. So watch my video how to improve in how to study perspective. This video I will write link in description. So let's see this one. So you see this kind of interesting puzzle here. I will let you for 10 seconds to look at look and think how you can draw it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Some Bruce Dickinson vocals here. Run to the hills. So you see, it's kind of very interesting, like Sherlock Holmes work here. If you like, again, yeah, you can just copy it, but if you want to understand how it works here, it's kind of, you need to be like Sherlock Holmes. So let's say you see this one, right? So first I'll make assumption is kind of should be parallel to ground. So this line will have vanishing point on the horizon line. Then let's double check it. Yeah, so yeah, so this should be, this will be have like vanishing point on the horizon line. Then let's see, where is our horizon line? Dun, 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 dun. So this also should have vanishing point on the horizon line, because windows, they're usually parallel to ground and vertical. So this one goes slightly down, so this one kind of also going down. So horizon line are somewhere here in between. Yeah, so this balcony is kind of showing us horizon line, because here it's like left side of balcony and the front side, they merge into one line. Так, yeah. Also this one, double check. And they all kind of not perfect. All these windows, they're wobble, they're kind of like dancing around, they're not perfect. So it can make also confusion. But again, this is why you need to learn this. You're applying reasoning, logical principles. So you're looking for structure. You not want to make vanishing point for every single line here. You want to see like what is actual structure. So then you can simplify everything according to structure. So let's make like this. Was. I'll do it here. Так, so let's see again. It's kind of convergent going there. So horizon line will be somewhere here in between. Right. Horizon line. So then, like I say, we know principle and perspective that every surface, every line that parallel to ground will have vanishing point on a horizon line. So somewhere there, vanishing point for this. So when I don't have vanishing point, I can make perspective grid. So like here, you see. So you see how this stuff following this grid. So this kind of direction for all this building here. It's a perspective grid for this building. You see, right? Then what happened with this building? Так. Let's see. So if this is vanishing point, you see, so its vanishing point will be for this building. But here you might notice how these windows are not perfectly matched, and this kind of stuff, all kind of little wobble, and you can ignore it. You can just simplify and make it more fit to just one point. Then let's see. We have here some part of building. So this part have this vanishing point. Then we have these buildings have this vanishing point. Then we have car. Car, you see, is have a surface plan here, so it's very convenient for us because it gives us already perspective grid, so I can say where is, let's take a ruler. Where is vanishing point for this square, for this rectangle? So it's here. So it's uphill. And this vanishing point here slash both this horizon line vanishing point, vanishing trace, right? So now we have this vanishing point as vanishing point for all this ascending surface, and you see it's changing angle. Like if here this part of road, it's following this vanishing point. So we have all this this second part of road, like from here, it's kind of like parallel to ground. Seems like, yeah. So and then what remained, it's this roof on the first plan, also have like horizon line. And here this is clear, it's very clear. But this roof is not clear. What is that? Let's investigate. Let's investigate what is happening with this roof. Okay, it's just another example of uneven, like wobble surface. So this roof actually have vanishing point on the horizon line. It's just like some parts of it. It's like going here, some wobble kind of here. So it's just example again, like how sometimes it's a natural thing, like when stuff is not perfectly aligned, and also it give you understanding that this why you also free to make mistakes. You're free to have this kind of a weird inconsistency, which is not kind of destroys your perspective, because you still have structure. Так. Some kind of here will be horizon line. So if making grid here, so will be vertical lines, just vertical for y-axis, and x-axis, yeah, let's make also x-axis just parallel to horizon line, and then some main elements of composition. So you see we have like this very clear groups, and so one group, it's like this roofs on the first plan, then second group, it's this building here, and the third group is this far view. With a road. So, and it's like a very long time to explain it, demonstrate, like I was showing this vanishing points and stuff, but you just start to see it. Like I say, you just see the stuff, you don't need to draw it, you don't need to make this all these vanishing points. You just sometimes you can like make sure, like, okay, like where is it? It's somewhere here. And this one, okay, somewhere here. It's just kind of like this, you know. Here for a road, vanishing point. So I can make just like perspective grid for each part or each group. So if like this whole piece, all this wall, it's its own perspective grid. So I have here horizon line, then I have this line on the house, right? So diagonal, straight, transition. And for this building, it's this vanishing point. And then for these faraway buildings, vanishing point here. So here is also this kind of typical Akira drone view, like bird view. So he's standing here. That's all. Still on one. Wait. It's weird, my disconnected. Так, hello Blondie, hello, I'm not okay. Yeah, I see you Blondie, hello human. Human, так. 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 Wrong perspective here. Haha. here it like this. Cat assistant. Так. here actually overlapping some wall here. Yeah, okay, I think for today we'll stop here. Go a little nap. 5 minutes to sleep. So, cat hypnotize me, make me sleepy. What are you doing? Okay, so thank you everybody, thank you for supporting my channel, for your comments. Special thanks for channel members. Like here today have a Human Atelier, Blondie, yeah, so I'll see you in the next tutorials. Hello, not okay, yeah.
Let's love together! Push right! Subscribe! Kill pod art!